you don't call somebody a pedophile and expect nothing in return. I think music is very difficult, like artistically, to try and censor.
Call me, Drake. We'll put you on the podcast. In Miami-Dade, you can Google this. It's called Operation Court Broom, where a bunch of the corrupt judges were investigated and kicked out. It's a real thing. Look it up. Operation Court Broom.
Operation Court Broom was a major judicial corruption scandal in Miami-Dade County in the early 1990s. A sting operation exposed judges and attorneys accepting bribes to fix cases. Multiple judges were indicted, with some convicted of racketeering and extortion. The scandal led to stricter oversight and reforms in Florida's judicial system.
Hit him with that Rico, baby.
Intoxication listed in the jigs. No slurred speech, no bloodshot eyes, not even a note of alcohol.
No, Your Honor. Your Honor, what we can tell is that it's an accident and another officer.
Love it. Literally, the playlist is called Drake's Good Old Music.
Yeah. Wow.
Those are better music.
Call me, Drake. We'll put you on the podcast.
What do you guys feel about the Drake and Kendrick stuff?
Fucking Kendrick won that shit like hardcore to the max.
Yeah.
The beef.
The beef is pretty intense.
I think it's a little bit inappropriate that Kendrick called him a pedophile.
That's like
extreme.
That's not like a little. That's like
Yeah, I
that's
feel like you don't
bad.
go.
Yeah. Like that's not like you're no.
Like you
Pedophile?
kids.
Yeah, that's like
Yeah.
another level.
So-
It's in my words.
So there was a lawsuit,
Which
interestingly
he
enough,
clearly wiped his ass with.
right? There was a lawsuit where he tried to like cease and desist the record from making any more noise. Give me your POV on that. Like, you guys are lawyers, so give us some info on, like, from what you might understand, how did it not work?
Fighting words.
Well,
That's not
the only
that's
thing
not
that I do
constitutionally
remember,
protected.
aside from that, it's almost like when you like defamation cases. Which the only reason I learned about it was because we were studying for the bar that you have like
First
that one
Amendment, yeah.
snippet. But defamation, to say like someone is like hurting your reputation and things like that. Turn down. Oh, and for regular people, it's a lower bar. Like there's a lower threshold that needs to be met in order to do a defamation case. Like the fact that you're speaking badly about me in a room full of people that can know that it's about me is typically enough. But when you're talking about someone that's in like the public eye, they have a higher standard of the higher threshold that they need to meet in order to prove a defamation case because they are in the public eye. So people
Malice
technically
aforethought.
are always talking. So you would need to prove, from what I remember,
Malice,
don't
you
quote
have
me
to
on
prove
this, malice, and then the other
Intent.
person would have to prove that they were incorrect, like they lied about what they said. So now it's like, okay, do you want to put yourself in there and prove that you were doing nothing wrong? Because now we're giving a whole other side of the story where typically a normal person can be like, hey, just stop talking. Like, that's fucked up.
Got it.
When you're someone in the public eye, you got to be like, this was actually a lie and prove that it was a lie.
Yeah.
Got it.
But even then, so there are certain things, like certain categories of speech that are not protected under the First Amendment. Fighting words is one of them. Calling you a pedophile, like the court says, I can't define it, but I know it when I see it.
Yeah.
That's what they consider fighting words. Like pornography is the same. I can't define it, but I know it when I see it. Calling somebody a pedophile is fighting words. So it excites you to the point of violence. So that speech is not protected.
But I think yes and no.
You can be shut down for it.
Yeah, but what
obviously it's fucked up because you don't call somebody a pedophile and expect nothing in return. I think music is very difficult, like artistically, to try and censor. Like I feel like it's a fine line between. But when you say
Yeah, but for sure that's
hey
not
Drake,
what
I hear you like now you're being direct.
What artistic value does calling somebody a pedophile
Oh,
have?
there's no artistic value.
Rhyming.
Absolutely none.
Huh?
Rhyming. Poetry.
Yeah, I mean, but you can,
Poetry?
If you're rhyming, if you have cadence, you have rhythm, you're rhyming.
find another word.
It's a part.
Find a different word.
Find a different word.
I understand, but then what happened when Eminem was verbally saying that he would rape and kill his mother?
Yeah.
Also not protected by the
Yeah,
First
but
Amendment.
I'm just playing devil's advocate here.
It's true.
And I'm just playing advocate.
Well,
And I'm gonna be the legal department, and I'm gonna say we don't practice that type of law, so
Yeah,
we're
so
not
either
good.
way-
We don't know.
We don't know what we're talking about because we don't like literally we don't. I just forwarded a defamation case to a lawyer because that's not my practice area. I don't touch that stuff. I don't know it. I don't. Well, we're just telling you like the legal theories.
Yeah, more than like whatever is we're making up here. I got a text from one of my good.
We're just making shit up as we go.
Yeah, for real. Well,
Apparently.
you
You can't say that.
one of my friends, one of my old friends from Cuba, Alexis.
Oh.
He texted me. Yeah, he texted me yesterday. He's like, I don't want to take much of your time. Someone who's known me for 20 years telling me I don't want to take much of your time. Learn, people, learn. It's like,
Literally.
what's happening with immigration right now? I have someone in this situation, la la la, and I'm like, I don't know
You don't know,
anything
yeah,
about
it's not your
immigration.
area.
No, but what do you think? I do not think.
know. I don't think
I
about
I do
it.
not know. It's like, oh, okay. I'm like, I don't know anything. I know what I know and what I
And that's it,
practice.
yeah, I
And
know what I
still,
practice.
like, there's not much.
Because here's the thing, like we have a different level of like responsibility because we're
Yeah.
supposed to know about these things. Like it's like I can't just shoot off at the mouth and be like, yeah, criminal procedure, because I don't know, I don't practice that. Like I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Are you laughing at what I did? Bro, I'm telling you, I gotta work on my muecas. I like do too much.
I like
No,
them.
but
I like
the
them.
muecas.
Yeah,
I
no,
like
but for real.
But
we don't
people
know.
that don't practice all things that we just have like a general understanding of everything, and I'm like, listen, I barely understand what I do understand. Like, don't ask me to understand outside of that
This
area.
is it. This is how you get. Goodbye.
No,
Yeah,
no.
no.
Nice.
And then it's
Especially
good.
Like Claudia says, peace, bitch.
Yeah, no, especially immigration.
Immigration's a lot.
No.
And it changes every 5 minutes, dude.
It
People,
does.
we got a PNC for that the other day. I was like, here's the referral.
Yeah, here you go.
Goodbye.
Good luck.
Yeah.
I might be too strung out on confidence. Too strung out on compliments. Those on confidence.
I like it. Shoulders. All shoulders.
Also,
It's all
do you want to read it like you do?
Yes! Like, what's it? Hold on. I love you so much. You said so
Now you can sing with us.
Where are we?
Well, I leave it at exaggerated things. Got it. I love it. She's like,
Literally reading.
body like that. Don't do it. Please don't do it. One of us goes in and we all go through it. Welcome to the Lawyer's Lounge, where we talk about legal nightmares that turn into legal solutions and maybe some behind the scenes stuff.
HOA, business breakups, baby daddies. We've seen a lot. And believe me, there's a right way to do it.
And if you're here, you're probably looking for an attorney or some free legal advice. This is not the place to do it. Once again, if that's what you were looking for, you can go to rrb-lawyers.com and book a consultation to speak with us in that capacity. This is for fun time.
Great.
You guys are good, man. You guys
Thank
are good.
you.
You make
We'll
my
take
job a lot easier.
us.
Still gotta edit like crazy, but
Sit
still.
back, have a drink, watch us,
Yeah.
be like, you do you.
If you need another one, it's out, I think.
Okay, thank you. All right, cool. So this week I watched Runaway Jury. Right? That's the name of the movie? Is it Runaway?
Runaway
Yes.
Jury,
Runaway
yes.
Jury?
On the flicks.
On the flicks.
No.
We're not gonna give any free promo, but yes,
Yeah.
on the flicks.
Mm-hmm.
Great movie.
Great.
It reminded me of the case in Miami, the Cocaine Cowboys case.
Ooh, I watched that one too.
With Sal Magluta.
And yes,
Yeah.
and one of my professors was one of the attorneys working for the state.
Tell me more.
I can't.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough.
On the news.
You could say in the
See?
flicks.
See?
Are you saying his name? You're gonna have to cut that out.
No, I just called him.
Yeah.
Weird.
So Cocaine Cowboys, from what I remember, it's been a while since I watched it, but I love that series. Those guys fixed the jury, right? They paid. They had enough money to pay off what they wanted the verdict to be, which is kind of the premise of this movie, right? You guys watched the movie, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Thoughts?
I loved it.
It was very good.
It
It was a little dramatic.
I mean, that's obviously fake, all of it.
Yeah, obviously.
Like, so they were doing cross. I was watching with my husband, who's also a lawyer, in case you guys don't know. That I live with him and he's a lawyer.
Yeah.
And you guys
And he
practice
practiced family.
And he practices family law as well. So we were watching it together, and they're doing the cross examination, which is the point where you question your adversarial party. And he's
That
like,
was a much easier explanation than cross.
Yes.
Your adversarial party's witness is when you will be doing cross.
Yeah. Didactic moment.
It's the other person's witness, and now
The
you're
other okay,
asking
there you
them
go.
questions.
Thank you.
for
You
the
see why we need a team?
layman terms.
So whatever. So we're both yelling at the screen because they're like the attorney's like objection prejudicial, and Sal's like
I know, me too.
Sal's
It's
like
so funny.
what do you mean?
Yeah.
Everything on cross is prejudicial. Like, and then they were all screaming over each other, and that would never happen. First of all, your court reporter is going to be like, shut the up. I can't hear any of you. You can't talk over each other because I'm typing all this shit down. And the judge will shut you down so fast. And if you don't stop talking, the judge will hold the attorney in contempt.
The judge will give you a lecture for 5 minutes and will tell you, next time you're coming in person, you're not doing Zoom anymore.
I mean, it makes for
the
great
trial was
video.
in person because it was 1990.
That's what would happen now. It's not that it happened to me, okay?
No. She's saying from things that she's seen in public.
Yeah. No, but I mean, it makes for great TV though. Like that excitement. Yeah. Well, that's why everyone comes and they're like, "Come on, stand up and fight for me." And it's like, relax.
Fucking
if I
drop
stand
kick that motherfucker on the stand. And like, I can't.
My main concern always is that people actually think that's real. And interestingly enough, I used to work with someone who's been working for attorneys for 30 years, and she believes all that.
Really? Even though she works for an attorney?
Know. She's always like, oh yeah, everything is rigged, the system is rigged, everyone can be bought. And I'm like, I don't know which attorney you work for 30 years, but to my knowledge, I mean, what do I know?
Well, devil's advocate again, it can happen. Cocaine Cowboys.
Yeah,
they bought.
I just don't think it's something that. I feel like the movies make it seem like it's something that just happens all the time.
Every day, so
and it's
easy.
That is like an insane situation. Like Cocaine Cowboys was crazy. This was crazy.
But that actually happened in Miami-Dade. You can Google this. It's called Operation Courtroom, where a bunch of the corrupt judges were investigated and kicked out. It's a real thing. Look it up. Operation Courtroom.
Mm-hmm. Wow, I did not know. I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah. And also when it comes to witnesses, I do have to say that I've seen that people would say whatever is that they have to say in court to help a friend. I did not believe that was possible until I became an attorney and I saw it. And you know they're lying and you try to extract the lie, and they're so good because people who are good liars, it doesn't matter how good you are, it doesn't matter how much you try, it gets to the point where the judge will be like, counsel, keep going, like, I'm not getting what I want. And people will lie, and they will sign an affidavit like this. It's just incredible, and that is very scary.
Even though you are literally subject to, you are signing those things under penalty of perjury. You can go to jail for lying under oath.
People think it's a joke. Like, it's like, that won't happen to me. No, it will.
So yeah, Cocaine Cowboys was one of my favorite like series to watch. The movie, I think, did a good depiction, but I had some like questions, right? I forget his name sometimes because I get it confused with Hugh Jackman. Cusack. No, not Cusack. Not John Cusack. Gene.
Are you talking about Hackman? The one that died?
Hackman.
He just died.
Yes. Yeah. So he did some illegal stuff in there to get, his way. You can prove that he did some things that can alter or sway the jury.
Like tainted the jury.
Yes. Is that immediate mistrial?
Mistrial.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have to do the whole thing, new people. Yeah.
Wow.
Mistrial, he gets disbarred. There's probably criminal sanctions. There's probably monetary sanctions.
New judge, like everything. It's a big deal. It is a big deal.
So the judge thing, thank you for reminding me. You said, what's it called? The cooperation what?
Operation
Courtroom.
Operation Courtroom. Can
they're
you
sweeping them
for
away.
people like me that are gonna definitely go down the rabbit hole? What? Give me some more. What was that about?
There was a lot of corruption in the 90s and 80s, I'm sure from the Cocaine Cowboy stuff, in Miami-Dade County. I don't think Operation Courtroom was just Miami-Dade County, right?
I think so.
So during that time, there was a lot of corruption. A lot of people were buying judges. They were, obviously paying off the judge, that kind of stuff. And it got out of control. I don't know if it was the public defender's office who brought it to light. I don't know who it was. Maybe it was the media. I'm not sure. I haven't read it in a very long time. but they basically started investigating all of these judges, all of the links between people who were paying them off, and the criminal investigation was huge, and a lot of these judges were, one, kicked off the bench. I don't know if they got held criminally liable, but that had huge ramifications for all of the decisions they had made.
Yeah, because that's the thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely, it's not only that case. Once a judge is found guilty or found involved in any type of issue, it affects all the cases that have been presided, by that judge. So that's
forever?
100%.
Or like your entire...
Always.
Because now they have to make
Wow.
sure that it
How long
do
have you
know?
not been bought off?
Correct.
We don't know.
How do you know? Yeah, that's the same issue where there is evidence. You know, you see all these cases on TV, and they actually happen when there is evidence is being tempted with, or there's some mismanagement of evidence. Like all those cases that have been handled by the same department, like they're gonna be, all those cases have to be looked up just because of that. It's very interesting.
It is.
Very interesting. And I feel like the judges have a lot of restrictions now, and they're under a lot of scrutiny. And
Because
I feel
of-
like
because of
they
that, yeah.
should.
No, they should. They definitely
yeah,
should. The same way that we're held to a certain standard, they should be too. And
I agree with
you know,
that.
because we have a, it's a legal like axiom. Is that the word? It's better to it's better to let 1,000 guilty men go free than to.
Webster's dictionary today.
I thought we weren't talking over each other. It's better to let 1,000 guilty men go free than to imprison one innocent man. So like that's the legal axiom that we like guide ourselves by. So when you start like paying off judges, problem.
Got it. So I did a quick little research. It looks like Operation Courtroom was a major judicial corruption scandal in Miami-Dade County in the early 1990s. A sting operation exposed judges and attorneys accepting bribes to fix cases, with attorneys as well. Multiple judges were indicted, with some convicted of racketeering and extortion. The scandal led to stricter oversight and reforms in Florida's judicial system.
Hit him with that RICO, baby.
Interesting.
You see, so there are repercussions to, you know, illegal stuff that people do. Like it's not as corrupt as people think it is.
Right.
You can't just get away with paying off a jury or a judge or whatever.
Right.
Like the movie, you can't just place who you want on the jury.
No.
Oh yeah, no.
It's a difficult process.
It
like,
is.
Yeah.
If you go through going the entire process of voir dire, like the other side has their strikes, their preemptive strikes.
Yeah, there's a lot of rules.
And that
go
can
into,
take
like,
a very long time. That can take weeks.
the fact that he even got
for
placed on the
huge
jury.
cases, but like
Yeah,
for a regular
for a
case,
regular case,
it
no.
takes like a whole day. Voir dire is a whole day.
The O.J. Simpson trial, I remember it
Yes.
took a long time to get that jury together.
That was a high
Because how do you
profile-
find jurors that don't already have an opinion about what's going on and like walk into there being like he did it or he didn't do it? It's very
And
difficult.
that they're a fair representation of the community, because it's not like they gotta be uninformed, and they have to be a fair representation of the community too.
And then when you're a guy like the character in the movie and has a great way of analyzing human behavior and mannerisms,
Correct.
There's attorneys who specialize in voir dire.
I feel like that's what
Jury
I
selection.
that's what I would like to do.
That's very, very
There's
interesting.
attorneys who specialize in it. They're very highly paid. It is
They
a
all
very-
play poker, I guarantee you.
probably.
I would if
All
I
of them play
You have
poker.
to learn how to read people.
100%.
Yeah.
I can almost bet my life on it that all those guys who specialize in that play poker.
I mean, there are attorneys with like incredible skills.
Yeah, of
You
course.
hear like these guys are like big litigators. We've seen them when we take the CLEs and go to all these events, and I'm like, wow.
These guys are great. But also, I think to a certain extent, to be on that level, it's kind of like LeBron James, like Dwayne Wade, right?
Yeah.
Like you are, or like Cristiano Ronaldo. Like you're born with a certain level of
100%.
skill, and then you train it, right?
Yeah, like RRB, just, diamonds in the rough that need to be polished.
My
100%.
gosh.
I'll
Thank
take
you.
that.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Make us
Thank you
blush.
for comparing me to Cristiano Ronaldo.
I'll
gotta
take
go.
it.
You guys all have his
I
abs.
mean, you compared me to Donald Trump like a couple of weeks ago.
First
so-
off, I didn't
Okay,
make the
now we know.
comparison.
When did he do that?
I did not,
Episode 2.
episode 2, I did not make the comparison. I did make the comparison.
You did.
I haven't listened to it yet.
You're like, flies off the handle, just like Mari.
Oh yeah, that's true though.
Yeah.
Like, I don't fly off the handle, bro. I am the handle.
I like that.
If she says you do,
It's like a fine line between flying off the handle.
It's a fine china handle.
Yeah.
But then if you drop
All
it,
right,
it can
we're
break.
done. We're done criticizing
Okay,
Mari.
yeah.
We're moving
No, we're not
forward.
criticizing.
We're moving
Let's
on.
appreciate it.
We're
We
moving
love
on.
you.
Because my self-esteem is taking a hit recently.
Oh, you shouldn't.
Why is that?
Since when? No,
tell
we
me
don't do
more.
those things.
Tell me more.
What?
Tell me more.
Self-esteem through the roof.
So normally, I mean, you guys know me, and Joe, I think, has gathered by now. My self-esteem is pretty high. You have to be a litigator. Your self-esteem, you have to think your shit doesn't fucking stink. But I'm also a very self-aware person. I try to be as self-aware as I can about how I come off to people.
You are very self-aware.
self-aware.
Whether
Me?
you are successful at managing whatever we
Here's
are
the
well,
thing. I am self-aware. I
You
just don't
are.
give a shit about how I come off.
Yeah.
Okay, see, that's
Like,
the thing. But
exactly,
that,
but
because
you're
you have high
very-
self-esteem.
yeah.
So the way you come off, you're aware of it, but it does not matter
Yeah,
to
but
you
it's-
in that
but-
sense. Depending on the situation, because you have, once again, you have business Mari,
Yeah.
and then you have
Mari.
Mari, like the one that we see on a regular basis. So that Mari does not care what people think, which I appreciate because
Yeah, that's
who gives
great.
a shit?
So here's the
But
thing.
business Mari does.
So you can be a very confident person, but if you're constantly hearing like, yeah, you're the loose cannon, yeah, this, da, 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 all the time, like, and they're not necessarily negative
At all.
things,
Yeah.
but it's still criticism, right? And criticism can be constructive, great, but you can only hear constructive criticism
So
for
many
so
times,
long
yeah.
and repeat it to you over and over again, where you're like, okay, I'm working on it, okay, I'm working on it, okay, I'm working, before you're like, shut the fuck up and stop criticizing me. Like, that's it, that's enough. I've heard it, I get it, I understand it, I'm gonna stop being as shot out as everybody thinks I am. Like, it's fine. But to a certain extent, like
Yeah.
I'm gonna be me no matter what.
Exactly.
Like,
Why were you?
I can tamp it down to a certain extent, but like also,
Why were you?
just because I am this way amongst the trusted inner circle doesn't mean I talk like that to the client, right? Like,
No, obviously.
I
Yeah,
don't.
we would have zero.
Yeah.
If we talk to a client,
We would have no clients.
we
Yeah,
would
no.
have, not because of you, because
Or
all
we
of
wouldn't
us.
have very good clients.
I have to say, sometimes it's very hard, and it goes back to why I'm always concerned about the way clients perceive the system, and then the movies, CSI, and the whole thing. Sometimes I have clients calling me every day. They hired me yesterday, next day. Do you file the lawsuit? No, it doesn't take 3 minutes to draft a complaint. I cannot drop what I'm doing to just draft your lawsuit. It will get filed within 10 days, a week, or whatever.
However long, 2 weeks,
Right.
whatever.
So they call me, and then they're like, oh, I had this law firm, and they are stealing from me. And I'm like, no, they were not.
They're not stealing from you.
Exactly. And then, and what if the judge does this? Because I'm like, no, we gotta believe in the system. If you don't believe in the system, for that, just stay at your home and don't drive, because if you go outside driving, you might die. It's pretty much the same. Then just don't.
It's a great analogy.
Yeah,
it's
and
an
sometimes I feel compelled to tell people, like, relax. Relax.
Or to shut up.
Or to just
Cállate.
cállate.
Primero,
Ahora
en
mismo
primer
cállate
lugar-
un momento.
Yeah, but you only say that to like a non-lawyer, an opposing party who yells at you.
Who's calling, yelling at me, threatening me, and my client, and then you'll deserve a cállate.
Primeramente, cállate.
So wait,
Primeramente, cállate.
So wait, has that happened?
Absolutely, yes. Sometimes it might be the case. You file a lawsuit, depending on the type of person you're dealing with, right? Then you get a phone call from the opposing party who's not represented by an attorney yet. And people get scared, and I get it. So I've gotten phone calls from opposing parties who I am suing on behalf of my client, and they've been like, I have the evidence against him. I'm like, hi, how can I help you? Oh, because he filed a lawsuit. They talk to me as if I was not the one who drafted the lawsuit. And he's claiming, and I understand. And I want you to know that I have this evidence against him, la, la, la. Whatever they think is evidence sometimes, it doesn't even apply to the case.
Yeah.
It's just there's so many things in place. And sometimes I gotta be like a little bit rude, more than a little bit, I would say.
No, but at that point, you're not being rude, because if you're being yelled at and accosted, and
exactly,
saying that,
100%. So I'll go like, you know what?
first of all,
Primero
shut
que
up.
nada, cállate. First of all, shut up. And I want you to know that I'm not your attorney. You don't have to tell me what the lawsuit says, because guess what?
You wrote it.
I wrote it. And whatever evidence you have, you don't have to send it to me. get an attorney, follow
response,
the instructions,
File an answer.
and then see you in court. Don't come to me now. If you call me, you want to settle, hey, what's going on? I'm more than happy. We are more than happy to help, because the whole point, I don't want to go to court. I don't want my client to spend a whole, bunch of time. I don't want sleepless nights, because
It costs the client money
But I
to
think
go to court.
it's like misplaced anger though, because it happens all the time.
Yeah.
It happened to me yesterday. You get a phone call from somebody that sees you filed something or gets your letter in the mail, and they misplace that anger for my client onto me. And I'm like, listen, remember, I'm the one that's helping them. I am their attorney.
Yeah.
I am not the one that you're having the problem with. I am helping them try to resolve it. I would like to resolve it with you. But if you call me and you're automatically yelling at me, I'm like, first of all, take a breath. I'm like, I understand you're upset. I understand you're frustrated. That's what I tell them. I'm like, take a breath for a second. I understand you're frustrated, but it's not with me. I'm here to help resolve the issue. My goal is not to make it worse. My goal is to make it better before we keep spending money. Like, remember that. I'm not your attorney, but I'm here to help the situation if I can. But sometimes people get heated, and I've gotten phone calls full blown, like yelling right off the bat. And I'm like, I don't even know what we're talking about.
What's your name, sir?
I literally had to stop people and be like, who are you and what are we referring to? Because people call like if I only have one case. And I'm like, hold on. Who are we mad at? What is it about? What is it for?
Yeah.
Like,
I
bad.
knew.
He tried to kill my mom.
Yeah. And I'm like,
you're like, I don't don't even do criminal law. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. I mean, I knew.
I saw your videos. You're pretty cute.
Yeah. I actually got that comment.
Wait.
I wish I was joking.
Wait, you're good. Wait.
100%.
Expound on that, please.
I got a phone call, one of these that was like, this wasn't even the person that the lawsuit is against, just a random third
person.
party that is somehow believes they are involved, calls the office, and I'm like, the assistant had picked up the phone. She's like, someone's calling. I don't know what it's about. I'm a little confused. I'm like, just transfer it to me, because we know how to deal with the situation and how to de-escalate things sometimes. So I pick up the phone. I'm like, Alexis speaking. How can I help you? And they just go off on a rant. Like, you don't know who you're dealing with. And do you know who I am? Do you know what I do? And this person and that person. And I was going to be meaner to you. But I saw your videos. You're pretty cute. So I thought, let me hold back. Let's talk about this. And at one point, I looked at the phone and I was like, am I being punked? Like, is someone playing a prank on me or something? And I was like, sir, hold on. I need you to stop speaking. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you talking about? And he's like, you're right. Let me take a step back. And I'm like, yes, please. Maybe a breath would be good. Like, breathe at one moment. Tries to tell me what it is that's going on. And I'm like, I don't even know what it is you're referring to. Like, do you realize that people see you in relation to a name, and they think that you're involved in every part of that person's life? And I'm like, hold back. You're
like, I don't represent this
Your
person.
personal problems with that person are not what I'm here for. I'm here for a very specific reason, and it is only that reason. And if you want to know more about it, Google it. Search it up on public records, because it's public records. Anyone can look at it and read what it's about. I'm not hiding any information, but don't call me and start yelling. I was like, I appreciate the compliment. Thank you. But also, I don't know what it is that you're referring to. So don't just call me yelling. I was like, please.
But sometimes it's very hard, like that phone call that I got, because you don't call me, threaten me, my law firm, and my client.
Yeah, of course.
That's not the way it works. You call me, you wanna talk, we will talk. It is okay. I will recommend you to hire an attorney. I will tell you, please keep in mind, I am not your attorney, la la la. But don't call me screaming and threaten me. At that point, like, primero que nada te callas. Es lo que te toca. You know what I mean? Like, cállate. That's it. What else do you want me to say? I'm just a human. But who happens to be an attorney? You know what I mean?
If it's an opposing party, that's treatment.
I don't owe
If you're opposing counsel, you're gonna get. What are you talking about? This is background noise.
Yes. No, but opposing counsel is like they're usually.
But they're not gonna call you screaming.
No, they're not. Which is again why we love the pro se Jose's. I want to go out there and do their thing. Nothing makes me happier than when someone hires an attorney on the opposing side, because I'm like, okay, now we can have
You'll hear from my lawyer.
Reasonable,
I would love to hear from
level-headed conversation with somebody who also just wants to negotiate and reach like common ground, as opposed to the phone calls of yelling, screaming, and I'm like, I don't want all that. Like, just give me a moment. Nothing makes me happier than receiving an email. Notice of appearance has been filed. I'm like, yes, thank you, God.
It makes everything way easier.
You get an email, hey, do you have time to get on a phone call? Yes, absolutely, thank you.
I'm going through that right now.
You're talking to a person who understands the procedure and the process, right? Whereas Pro Se Jose doesn't know the They don't know the rules of the road.
Yeah, they don't know how to. They don't know the steps.
Yeah,
They don't.
That-
Yeah.
It happens to me. It happened to me.
And they always believe that the law is not on their side or that the judge is not going to be on their side. And that is not the case. You will be surprised. You'll be surprised. Also, back to the Jose Pro Se, it's happening to me now. One of my clients who gave me authorization to talk about this, she purchased a property. She bought a property about like 2 months ago. The day she was ready to move in, she found out that the property didn't have occupancy
A
permit.
CO? A certificate of occupancy.
Certificate of occupancy. So she could not go into the property that she had paid for.
Yeah, ready to
Transaction
go.
closed, FHA loan approved, the whole thing. She goes to the city, la la la, just to find out that the property had been, how do I say this? The property had many issues, okay? So now I'm like, okay, let's talk to the sellers who are flippers. And they say they didn't know anything about it. And they
never
bought
know
the
anything.
property 2 months after. So I send them a letter, hey, she's a good person. She's actually trying to go to law school, right? Let's figure this out. How are you gonna solve this? Because now the property needs 52 inspections.
Ooh.
They were able to get a provisional certificate of occupancy, but it needs 52 inspections and a whole bunch of shit done.
And that takes a long
It's
time.
gonna take a long time, and not only that, because I am telling you, these people, my clients are very smart, very, very nice, good people. They came from Cuba, not even like 3 years ago, saved the money, like worked very hard and bought this property,
Echando
right?
pa'lante, how we like to
Echando
say.
pa'lante, and now they're facing this fucking problem. And I sent a letter to the guy, okay, how are we gonna solve this? You have two options. You either help her and do what you were supposed to do because you concealed information that affects the
Which I
value
was
of the
gonna ask
property.
how they didn't come up on the lien search or anything like that. That there was.
Funny enough, everything happened in between the time they entered into a contract and
And they
the
close.
closing, and there was not an updated title commitment.
So there's-
updated title commitment right before you close.
Doing like real estate law, this stuff happens all the time. Where my mom, for instance, she's a broker. She does real estate. Contracts in general, you can add additional terms, things to the contract to make sure that you're covered before you close. One of the very specific things always that I like putting is prior to closing, you need to have clean title
Title
no
was
lien
clear.
searches. Yeah, but no issue, no liens, no
Nothing.
open permits.
I reviewed the
No,
whole
but
thing.
no open permits, no pending permit,
In-
no
no.
pending violations, nothing.
They
because
open the
I've
permits
seen,
after, right?
I don't know. No, because remember, sometimes when you file something with the city, this is in Miami-Dade County,
where is it?
Palm Beach.
Yeah, but if they don't have a CO, they must have had some sort of pending
Something.
violation or something.
I'm telling you, I reviewed the lien search, nothing clear. I reviewed title
How'd she find out that
commitment
they didn't have CO?
when she went to move in, and she was told what had happened to the property, which was a fucking fire.
Oh, it
And
had a fire.
It had a fire.
Ooh, sounds like an insurance.
And then she couldn't occupy the property. Now FPL allowed, not electricity system. Property looks beautiful. It's a beautiful
I'm
flip.
so confused. How did that even happen?
Tell me about it.
And it got approved for FHA. It went through. It
Todo.
got insured.
It went
everything?
through the whole thing.
Through the whole process.
So this is
Doesn't make sense.
why you need an attorney.
Yeah. To add those additional things
Or
in there, God
a
forbid,
very
because-
reputable
Title
closing company, like
Yeah.
title company, because it's not like you can just
Yeah.
atroshimosha, just buy a company, a property, and
Yeah.
you do your closing with anybody, because
Yeah.
this can happen.
Mm.
And sometimes you can avoid it, sometimes you cannot. I still don't know how this huge problem
Yeah, that's a.
was not uncovered.
So I have a question. If I'm buying a property and obviously they say, well, you need a title company, all this stuff. You're saying to hire an attorney who would be able to kind of
Do the closing.
do the closing.
Not kind of anything. An attorney with a title company
Got
or
it.
a reputable closing company. They are very good closing companies. They have been, in the
Around for a
business
while,
for
or-
like 40, 30, 25 years. They're very good and not necessarily have an attorney, but you can trust them, but you gotta know who they are. You gotta,
Here's the thing, that those reputable title companies, they have attorneys like us on deck, because we've worked with title companies before that
100%.
call us and they're like, this is the issue, I need you to clear title.
and they're very good.
And they're very, and they dot their
Very
T's and they
good.
cross their I's. The difference is that attorneys who own title companies, it's a 2-in-1. It's already there.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
And we can be there since day one. Since the moment you're signing the contract, like presenting that contract, we can be there. And it's not the same when you have an attorney, because the other side knows, okay, if I have a problem, I know she has an attorney, it's gonna be a shark.
So what would you have done different if they would have came to you first?
If they would have come to me first, I would have probably written something on the additional terms, which is paragraph 20, isn't it?
Yeah.
On the assist contract.
It's close to the end, making sure that
And
there's no
and I would have
violations.
requested, and
Make sure that you have the certificate of occupancy. Make sure
occupancy,
there's nothing.
everything.
Like what I had mentioned before regarding liens on the property, things like that. Those are the things that come up. I've had a case before where someone closed on a property and there was a violation issued, but it wasn't necessarily a lien yet. So the city has a process. They take time. So they'll send you a letter in the mail saying, hey, you have a violation on your property. Nothing is a lien. There is nothing that would come up on a lien search. But guess what? The seller knew that they had a violation. Did they take care of it? No. So when the buyer closed, they move in. All of a sudden, they want to do work, and they get a notice in the mail.
Correct.
There's a lien placed on your property now because there was a violation that was not cured, and it's been accumulating and accumulating over time. They have a per diem, so they'll charge you $150, $200 a day over the entire
Miami
time.
Dade is now $250.
Yeah, it gets crazy hefty in the sense of how much you have to pay to get it resolved, and the seller knew. But if there's no verbiage in your contract saying any pending violations need to be closed out, this needs to be disclosed, technically you still have a
That happens within like 30
misrepresentation.
days.
Yeah, but if you don't have it in there, it makes it much more difficult to fight if you don't have the correct verbiage. If you have the correct verbiage, now you can highlight this paragraph, send it in a demand letter and say, hey, this was an issue, you knew about it, you didn't disclose, you should have fixed it.
Would you have, so let's say they sign it, they don't fix it, are you suing at that point?
You're sending a demand letter that they need to go ahead and pay.
You want to be amicable
Got it.
first. Which
But if
is
they're playing hardball, it's like sue time.
the only, and it's something that we always explain to the client. The first thing we do, you send a demand letter. Hey, this is what's happening. We're demanding that you do this. We give them, some time, reasonable time. Contact me. We hope that we solve this amicably. And then if you don't, the only recourse you have to make someone comply and do something is through the court system. It's not like you go to someone's house and be like, you got to do this.
You actually can't do that. It's called self-help. Don't do it.
Correct. You can do it. So that's why you go to the court system. And that's how you enforce things. But at that point, you're not going by what the contract says. Maybe there's something you can enforce to the contract. We're going by what the deed, the warranties that you have through the deed. So it's a lot going on, but we can also order an updated title commitment. I usually order an updated title commitment, which is kind of like the social security of the property, and it will tell you everything about that property within a day or two before closing. Or, and this is something that I've learned because this is Miami, and there are a lot of flippers and people, transactions happen very quickly, right? I look it up myself. I go to the county property records, I enter that folio number, and I'm gonna go make sure that that property has not anything, there's nothing new going on with that property.
And she writes it down in her libretica.
Yeah,
And she puts it in an Excel sheet. And then she transfers that to an email. And then she makes it a report.
And then I will email the seller's attorney. Are you sure this doesn't happen? Especially when there is, either a wholesaler or a flipper, because all these beautiful properties, we don't know that's behind. Like we say, una vieja con colorete, and then you're buying yourself a huge problem.
It happens a lot down here.
What does a vieja con colorete look like?
A vieja con colorete. It's like when you're 80 and you've done a lot of procedures and you think you look great, but you do not look great.
In English, it's like a pig with lipstick.
That.
Okay.
All right, so how much time do you think you deserve? According to this, it's a cap of 8 years.
Yeah, I don't know what I deserve. But
I mean, sure you do.
I know what I would ask for.
No. What do you deserve? For example, some people, like your punishment is a cap of 8, which means I can sentence you anywhere from 2 to 8 years. Some people will say, well, I really want 2, or I really want probation. That's what I want. I'm not asking you what you want. I'm asking you, what do you deserve? For example, let's say it's your mom, your brother, just trying to do their job. And then let's say that happens
I get what
and
she's doing.
John Doe walks in and does
I do
what you
not.
did. What would you
I'll
be
tell you what it is.
asking for punishment for them? And this is where honesty comes in with yourself.
If that man signed a cap 8, I would ask for the cap 8. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
What
So
the fuck?
what do you deserve?
8?
Because a lot of
You're
times
saying if it was
people
someone that
will
did it to-
not really be
Ah, okay,
concerned
okay.
because the person who is the victim or the complainant, it's like, it's not my relative. They have no attachment to that person. Maybe they don't see that person as a human being, or maybe they say, you know what, it's not their money, so why won't they just give me the money when I walk in and say, hey, give me the money? And sometimes people want fast money, and I understand when people want fast money, but then we end up here because fast money is not good money. I don't know how much money you made off with. It seems like it was $20, and you know, $20. You have to ask yourself, was that little amount of money worth me going to prison over?
I'm not.
I get what she's trying to do.
Can you explain it to me?
Yeah, so she's
Yeah.
part of the criminal legal system is like recuperating the person, right? Like it's not all punitive. Some of it is, I don't remember the word now, but it's like
Yeah,
recuperative
It's
or whatever.
like rehabilitative.
Rehabilitative.
Yes.
She's trying to rehabilitate him, like put it into perspective for him.
Which is why she says, like, if it was your mom that this
Yeah,
happened to, or your
exactly.
brother, like, how would you feel about how that person should be punished?
But she started off weird.
I like it though.
For context, it's a clip, so we don't know how she started.
Yeah, we're getting like a little.
And we don't even know what he did.
Right,
Apparently, like,
we-
It
Well,
was
sounds
grand
like it
theft,
was,
probably.
Yeah, so remember, this is like a 30-second
robbery.
minute,
Robbery.
minute
Yeah.
clip maybe, but this is an entire deposition.
no.
No?
hearing.
It's a sentencing hearing.
Whatever, dude. All right, made me feel special. So okay, an entire hearing, but
And they're not very
there's-
long either.
but it's longer than a minute. So obviously it's clipped to get us
To get
Yeah.
the one piece
That's all it
that
is.
mattered.
That's all it is.
I mean,
So maybe that's why you feel that.
I mean, I like the concept though. Like, it kind of gives
I think
the
rehabilitative is more
idea
important.
of people should be aware of what they did and at least recognize that they screwed up, not just, okay, give me whatever time you think and peace out. Like, let's have a little bit more responsibility
now
for
that
it.
I get it, I see that she's clearly trying to give him a lesson. Like,
Got it.
Yeah.
She's trying to rehabilitate
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
good. Good
All
for her.
right, next clip.
She actually hasn't even admonished him as hard as she could have.
No.
So you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up
Same
to
guy.
6 months in
Our
jail
favorite.
and a $2,000
I like
fine.
On March 1st, 2025, the officer observed a white Honda CRV involved in a minor accident. The defendant was traveling southbound on Dennis Street when he struck a 2016 gray Lexus. The defendant admitted to consuming alcohol recently, and standard field sobriety tests were administered. HGN 4 out of 6, walk and turn 6 out of 8, one leg stand 3 out of 4. The defendant refused to correct.
You don't have to.
He admitted to consuming alcohol recently. So what?
And Your Honor, there are no other indications of intoxication
Love this
listed
judge.
in the JIPS.
No slurred speech, no bloodshot eyes, no,
We don't have that.
not even an odor of alcohol.
No, Your Honor. None
Your
of that.
Honor, what we can have is that there's an accident and another officer.
Love it.
And that who
Ah.
that was intoxicated. We don't know what that other officer observed.
Right.
Based on the dispatch.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna find no problem. Cause Mr. Medrano.
But you know why?
But he admitted it.
No, but you know why you say you love it? Because you're thinking of yourself as a defense attorney. If you're the state, you'd be like, okay, I will hate this judge.
No, I'm actually putting myself in. So I never think of myself as an ASA ever because the state is not something that calls to me. But I also don't usually, when I watch these kinds of videos, I put myself in the judge's perspective, right? Because I'm like, what is the fair application of the law to these facts?
But he got very lucky that the judge is this like level-headed and wants to understand all these facts because, first of all, don't admit to having consumed alcohol recently. Like, if you get pulled over, just be quiet. Be
Not
quiet.
even because consuming alcohol, like what could that be? Like
Yeah,
a
but now-
beer?
yeah,
a
yeah,
beer?
a
It's just
beer.
consuming
But then
alcohol.
what happened? It led to all those field sobriety tests. Like,
Here's the thing. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be held against you. If you cannot afford an attorney, an attorney will be appointed to you by a court of law. You have to understand these rights as I have read them to you. So don't fucking talk to cops. You don't have to.
Yeah.
Next.
Coming from the person that doesn't like this segment. Next.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I'm dismissing my court-appointed attorney and representing myself.
Okay, start with this. What's your name?
Chloe Whitsitt.
Okay. And you're intending upon representing yourself in this matter?
At this time, yes, Your Honor, I am. I am dismissing the court-appointed attorney at this time.
You
yes.
can't dismiss the court-appointed attorney. The
Okay, what's
judge has to
going
make
on?
it.
Until my family and I decide what law firm we are going to choose, I will be representing myself.
All right.
He's having a Monday.
So you need time to seek a retained attorney?
Well, not really, but I have a request at this time as I am representing myself.
Well, not until such time as I relieve Mr. Drukas.
Okay, thank you.
What I'm trying, I have not done so.
Okay.
So I'm trying to figure out what the issue is and what you're intending upon doing.
Dismissing the court-appointed attorney and representing myself.
Okay.
I'm sorry. At this time, I can't make it any clearer, and I don't
No,
understand.
You're not making it very clear to me at all.
Okay,
You're not listening.
I'm
Just
confused.
talking. Are you going to hire an attorney?
Yes.
Or are you going to represent yourself?
Also, yes.
Today, Your Honor, I'm going to represent myself. If my request is denied by you, then I will be hiring an attorney. I can't make it any clearer than that.
That's not very clear.
So if I relieve Mr. Drukas, you're going to represent yourself?
Yes, sir.
So if they set it for a preliminary examination, you're ready to go?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I'm dismissing my court-appointed attorney and representing myself.
I can't.
So
I get anxiety.
So because you guys understand the process, which speaks to what you said earlier, both of you said this earlier, which is just Jose's don't know the process.
Yeah.
That's why she's going through that.
But she's also not speaking in plain
That's why
English.
she is going through that issue, which is she doesn't understand what's the next step.
Yeah.
Which is why the judge is like, you're stupid.
Or how to
Here's
even
the
properly
thing.
request.
The judge
to
is
have
trying
a-
to help her
Yes.
realize that you
yeah.
can say, I want to postpone this
Yes.
until I get an attorney.
Let
And
me
she's
tell
just
you-
like very...
Let me tell you what's happening there. So the pros and hoses of the world have this concept that they need to talk to us and judges in legalese. Don't do it. Just talk to me in plain English. Tell me what it is that you want. You don't have to be like, at this time, I am dismissing the court-appointed attorney. First of all, you're not dismissing shit because the judge is the one who's dismissing.
Yeah, I'm firing my attorney. You can fire an attorney at any time.
I don't want to work with this attorney anymore.
No.
I'm going to represent myself for this hearing right now in this moment. And then in the future, I'll get another attorney.
That's it. Or you can even say, I don't like this attorney anymore. I don't think he's representing me, whatever. Well, whatever. I want to fire him. And I need time to get a new attorney. And I requested this hearing be postponed. And then the
No,
judge
but
will
see,
tell
you're
whatever.
talking like an attorney.
No, but you could
lot,
say,
but you can-
say,
People don't know to ask for a postponement.
Yeah,
A lot of people
that's
don't
the
even know
point.
they can
That's
request
true,
for it
That's
to
the
be
point that I'm
postponed.
making
Like,
is that we just don't know.
You don't know.
So then when we go to court and we
So
don't like
ask
the
the
attorney.
judge.
In her eyes,
Yeah,
she
but
thinks
they
she has to be
don't
ready to
know.
go right then and there without
man,
an
but if he
attorney.
does.
You
But
can
but I
always-
agree. Freaking hire an
The
attorney.
judge is doing great.
Well, yeah,
he
he's
wants to
trying.
help her.
Yeah.
So edifying moment or whatever the fuck we call it, didactic moment. Just ask the judge for help. The judge is going to help you. Like the pros and hoses of the world, the judge will help you. Be like, Your Honor, I don't like my attorney anymore. I don't want him to be my attorney. Can he be dismissed from the case?
Yeah, what are my steps?
What do I do now?
Yeah, that's it.
That's what I would have done.
Yeah, and this is a great judge who wants to understand what she wants.
Hands off of her! Get the from me! Get the from me! I have my daughter! You get away from me! Get in the car! Off my daughter! Right now!
Let's go. You want to get on the back of my bike? Come on, it's okay.
Don't keep walking up to me! Go. Get her out of here. Right now. I love you, bub. Hear me. I am sorry that I scared you.
You didn't scare me, he scared me.
Okay. I'm sorry that I put you in that situation, but I cannot stand there and watch a man put his hands on a woman. Do you want to stay with me or do you want to stay with...
Can I go with them? Absolutely.
I'm sorry I put you in that position, Bug.
It's fine. I'm proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
Also a moment for me, obviously.
Yeah,
But it's also a very scary moment.
You want me to
as well.
tell you everything that's wrong with that fucking
Yeah,
situation?
please. That's why I brought it up because this is the
Well,
a little bit of.
We don't know, right? But let's assume that the abusive person abusing his wife in the middle of the street doesn't have a gun, right? Yep. You pulling a gun on him is not proportionate force. So there goes your stand your ground defense. bye-bye, buddy, you're going to fucking jail.
Yeah.
Yeah, you cannot pull out your gun like that. Just
You can't just like.
You have to be defending yourself against something that seems equally as threatening.
Right.
Like,
It's called proportionate force. So if somebody's coming at you with a deadly weapon,
And
you can combat with a deadly weapon. You can also defend another.
There's
so
an
the
imminent.
Oh shit, my bad.
There's an imminent threat.
Yeah. So you can use the same force that's being used on yourself and on another person because that's called the defense of others, right? But just because somebody's fucking beating his wife in the middle of the street, you can't pull a gun on him. Like, that's not how that works.
What if he's 300 pounds and you're 150?
Nope.
Really?
There's
But
case law on it.
that's not proportionate force.
There's case law on it.
Mm.
There's case law on it. You can't pull a gun on a fucking 300-pound guy because you're...
Not even a knife.
No. It's not proportionate. And also, how irresponsible of you with your daughter right
what
next
if that
to
guy
you.
then would have pulled out a gun?
What if
because
the
you
guy
pulled
did
out
have
your gun?
exactly? What if the guy did have a gun and it went off and he shot your kid?
Yeah.
People are too hot-headed, bro.
Yeah.
People are too hot-headed. Like, nobody thinks of the consequences. Nobody thinks of like the long-term repercussions.
No, that was a very crazy situation.
Yeah.
I would have never. I don't have kids, but I would.
Not even a friend. It would
I
have
got
never put
nervous just
any
watching
of
it,
you.
yeah.
In a
Commendable, but stupid.
Yes.
That's how I see it.
Yeah.
Right?
I understand the thought process behind it,
But
but
even then, like, daughter, random person, peace, random person.
Yeah.
I have-
Like,
Correct.
sorry.
There's no.
Or at least tell your wife, get her out of here. I'm gonna go help that lady.
Yeah, you can like try.
And even then, just call the
Call
cops.
911.
dude.
Call the cops. That's what you really should do. Thanks, Joe.
Yeah.
Call the cops. Don't get involved.
once.
Call the cops.
Don't get involved.
What do we pay taxes for?
That's a very good question.
Call the cops. And then the abusive husband, don't talk to the cops.
Yeah. Yeah, look at you. Look at you.
Yeah. There's that.
Nice.
Full circle, full circle.
That was good.
We could do one more. You guys want to do one more?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Is there another one in there?
Take Mr. Steele into custody,
Is it
please.
that one?
Rapper Young Thug's lawyer was arrested during his trial for refusing to reveal who told him about a secret meeting between the judge and a key witness. The lawyer was sentenced to serve 20 days on the weekend for the next 10 weeks.
You don't get to extort the court. That's what you're attempting to do at this point in time. Removing me against his will, my will, you're taking away his right to counsel. And you're conducting material parts of this trial without me present, and I can't learn about it by watching online. So for that reason, additionally, I asked for a mistrial. And I assume you denied, but I'd like you to deny our motions for mistrial. You denied the other people. I denied your motion, but I'll certainly take that under advisement, sir.
Take me up. I'm gonna take him up.
Take Mr. Steele into custody.
Thoughts?
Stupid. Go ahead, Claudia. You're the one that saw it. First of all, I don't know if it's attorney-client privilege because.
No, because the whole thing is about an
The judge is
attorney.
meeting with a witness.
Yeah, an attorney doesn't want to say.
Who told him about a secret meeting between the judge and a key witness? The lawyer was...
Exactly.
Why wouldn't he
So-
reveal that though?
No, here we have a judge who met with a witness secretly and an attorney who doesn't want to reveal
How he found out about it.
Yeah, how he knows about that.
Because they're trying to protect the witness?
Yeah.
He's trying to
That
protect
might
his
be-
source, maybe, or
Yeah.
Because this is a gang-related case.
Yeah,
a murder
but
case,
judges
right? It's a
cannot-
RICO. I think it's a RICO
To
racketeering.
I don't know which state this is, but to my knowledge, judges are not allowed to meet with witness or anyone. You can't even
To my
drive
knowledge, too, yeah.
drive by the crime scene as a judge. And if you are an attorney and you're claiming that the judge met with the witness, I mean, if I'm the judge, I want to know who told you, because how do you know it's even true?
I
You know what I mean?
but
Like,
there's
tell
a
me who told you. Put it in front of me. Give me a sworn affidavit. I don't know. Why are you doing this? If you don't want to tell me, because at the end of the day, you're like messing with the judge's credibility.
Yeah.
We don't practice criminal law.
No, yeah, we don't. But I do know that in a civil case, if I have opposing parties saying that the judge met with one of my witnesses, I'm going to request, I want that person. When did it happen?
Yeah.
What was the conversation about? What were the circumstances? I want to know it all. It's not like you can go claiming, oh, the judge did this and did that. Show it to me.
Yeah.
I want to know. Right?
Put your money where your mouth is.
I thought you were clapping for her. I was like,
And
yes.
just,
Awesome.
and just like this, if you need any legal advice,
RRB-lawyers.com.
there you go.